What's up, everybody? Julie Universe. What's up, dude? I'll just go with it. What's up, dudes? Julie Universe. I'm out to Geeky and Nerdy, and welcome to another episode. And I'm apologizing ahead of time for the thing. Also, yes, I forgot the stuffed animal setup. I will do that when I record more videos. But anyway, I'm here to tell you that we're back with Black Lightning episode 5. And spoilers from here on out for anybody who has not seen Black Lightning yet. This is a spoiler. You should go back and watch some of my other previous reviews. So again, fair warning, spoilers. This episode is a great stand-up compared to the episode that was entitled Black Jesus. I remember being really let down about that episode. I expected more to come out of it, but in regret, it did not. However, this episode 5, which is called "And Then the Devil Brought the Plague," was a lot more better than the other episode. So when this episode begins, Black Lightning is starting to learn to fly, and he is kind of doing the Iron Man kind of pose, and I kind of went. And I said it while we were watching the episode, and he was doing the flight thing. I went, "Ha! Suck it, Iron Man!" But the thing is, while he's flying, he stops, but notices a loud ringing sound in the back of his ear, and we'll get back to that later. So while he is doing his patrolling at Black Lightning, learning how to fly and everything, he stops and notices that there is a couple of cops trying to bring down a person that's high on green light. Now, green light is a drug that I explained in episode 4, but to put it back into perspective, it's basically like cocaine meets PCP, and it's really bad. Like, it's starting to become a problem in their domain. So the cops almost shoot the teenager, but Lightning gets there in time, and he tells the cops to put the gun down and let him deal with it. So as they put the gun down, he and the teenager start going in at it until he grabs the teenager and then basically becomes a human taser and tases him down. And he tells him to call an ambulance because he's overdosing on green light. And he also tells him, he said, if he gets back up, don't draw the guns, use the tasers first. So apparently, even though they're high on green light, a taser will still affect them. I know that there had been other cases in police officers' career where that they're high on drugs, but they won't use a taser. They'll try shooting a person at points. So, kind of bad. Also, my complaint from the other episode that Anissa, Jennifer, and Lynn all did not get screen time. All three of them got the right appropriate amounts of screen time, and it feels amazing to see my three favorite girls back in this series. Anissa really is the biggest one, so let's talk about her category. She starts doing a lot of investigation, but mostly and primarily investigating a lot about her grandfather. I think his name was Timothy. So she starts going in and investigating what is happening, what's going on, and she meets up with a man by the name of David Poe. And David gives her everything that Timothy's, and he gives her a fair warning. He said, I'm giving you all this because you are just like your grandfather, you're stubborn, you're hard-headed, and you just need to leave me alone. So she does so, but she does learn a lot of things that he was behind, there was something like a superhero testing thing or whatever that gave 9 people basically superpowers, and she wants to know exactly what happened behind that. I'm thinking that that's going to lead up to the origin of Black Lightning. I believe that that might come into play with basically give him sort of a little bit of a cyborg origin story. So that would be pretty cool to see. In the meantime, what I like about this is that she's doing exercise, she's doing a kick-ass thing in front of the mirror, beating up people and whatnot, or just training. And then her thigh, or her ass, essentially rips the freaking costume that she wore in episode 4 when she met Grace at a party, and she goes, my ass is too big to contain this costume. I kind of went out a kind of hearty laugh when she did that. That was pretty good. I said for a minute there that she had basically Thunder's eyes. Get it? Because Thunder... Okay, never mind. where she goes into a lingerie store or costume store. Like, at first it was like a lingerie store, but then it turns out to be a sort of like a costume store, and she gets her first costume with a blonde wig. Now, honestly, the costume was really damn good, and I think it's supposed to be homaging another superhero because it looks kind of similar, but I can't tell if that's supposed to be true. If you go up and look it up online, I'm pretty sure that you'll find a costume variant of it. Um, like it's blue, it's got like a little pink thing around here. So yeah, so she's doing a lot of investigation about this because she's not just gonna let it down so easily. Jennifer only has a minuscule role, but it's kind of a good one, where she goes to a roller derby party with her best friend, and then she gets harassed by two other girls from another basically rival school, and they kind of pick on her like, you can't do anything, your boyfriend disabled and everything. And I'm like, oh, but Jennifer gets in some good freaking comebacks and roast in there, and I love it. But then when the two girls start coming onto her, almost fighting her, she defends herself in a very good way. Because Jefferson taught his girls how to fight and basically defend themselves if they ever were to need to. So, you know, but then she gets grounded because they believe that she is in trouble for it, even though she stated she isn't. But her dad makes a good point that you could have had the chance to just walk away, but you decided to fight, so you're not exactly on par with everybody else either, which is a good point. Lana has a small role in this as well, which she's investigating Jefferson's basically mysterious disease that he's been having and trying to find out why he's having this so-called disease and everything. But Jefferson had the biggest character change in this, and God bless Chris Williams, because he went from the standard Black Lightning into this like Batman Black Lightning. He even started speaking with a more gruff tone, sort of like Christian Bale. So it was really kind of like, oh my god, a moment. But he basically starts having headache and attitude changes, and nobody knows why this is happening. He also notices that there's a character named Joey Toledo who's coming back into his life, who in a change killed his father. So he's doing everything and anything possible just to get the person who killed his father dead. Like, not in jail. Dead. Capital D-E-A-D, dead. And even when he meets him, when he tweets his girlfriend and gets her cell phone and texts him and pretends that it's her, he ends up beating the snot out of him and starts having basically like a seizure or whatever. And the guy laughs at him and he goes, you think that I'm gonna kill you? Wait until Tobias comes after you. Now, Tobias in this also has a very good character moment where you feel for the character, but then you don't feel for the character. Um, so Tobias in this meets up with his sister, stepsister or whatever, and essentially, you know, she goes over the details that Lady Eve isn't happy with you because you're not doing so well, and Tobias said, well, I'm basically doing everything that I can. I should be the right hand man for Lady Eve. And she said something that I guess sort of brought back PTSD memories, where he goes back to being a kid and seeing his stepfather or his actual father beating on his sister and him at the same time. And when they go in to confront their stepfather, the first thing he does is, when as soon as he opens the door, punch him and blames him for everything that he's done. And his stepfather even said that, you know, I called you, I bathed you, I did stuff when your mother wouldn't. So because she left you when you were younger, he said I could have left you without no protection, without anything, but I took you into my home. Which is a fair point. But still, you should not have beaten, no child should ever have to be beaten or abused or anything. None. Being them up on a loving home and everything. But that's not the case. So even when he goes and Tobias goes and talks with him and gives him a hug, he doesn't give him a hug. He gives him like a great big old bear hug and breaks a lot of bones in his body. All you hear is constant like bones breaking and snapping. It's like he did, isn't he? Like, nah, no, he's not dead. Okay, yeah, he probably did. He probably did. We killed a man. Um, in the words of Little Karibo from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, hmm, well, I think that we have all just killed a man. Well, if anyone asks, Jaden did it. Wait, what? Yes, I'm a fan of Little Karibo. Anyways, episode 5 was great and spectacular, kind of leading up to a fair point, and the synopsis of episode 6 is Jefferson going after his father's killer. So, is he going to get revenge, or is he going to do the right thing by just taking him into prison instead of everything else? We don't know. He even teamed up with the inspector. Inspector, I think his last name is Shiloh or something, and even managing to the point where he gave him a cell phone to contact him on, basically old school Batman style, which I thought was nice. And letting him sort of trying to investigate this on his own. In my opinion, I think that the officer or the inspector did something wrong by doing that, because this can give a man free liberty to kill somebody. So we'll have to see what episode 6 holds for us. I really hope that Jefferson doesn't kill, but then again, you sort of never know. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, check out even more videos that I have done, that come out at the college and whatnot. This is Lady Universe signing out and saying, remember, you might look good in a costume, but if it doesn't fit the booty, it will never suit yourself. You'll find the meaning behind that. Until next time.